careful about how economists measure things.
Yeah,
Totally. And yeah, I mean, it's like my favorite joke. I have a few economist jokes that I like, but maybe my favorite one, economist joke, is two economists are going for a walk in the forest, and they come across a pile of shit. And one economist says, "I'll pay you $100 to eat a pile of shit."
I've heard this one. This is great.
Yeah,
go.
And so the guy takes $100 and eats the shit. Then they keep walking. They come across another pile of shit, and the other guy says, "Okay, I'll give you $100 to eat a pile of shit." So he gives him $100, and then the guys can say, "Wait a second, we both have the same amount of money." And we both ate a pile of shit.
Oh my God! It sounds
It's like we increased the economy by $200. This is the kind of bullshit you get in economics.
Yeah.
But if you say like just the output of goods and services, will be much greater. Like you just need to.
So profitability of companies go through the roof at some point. But so the question becomes: is that taxed by the government? Is that then taxed by the government and redistributed as some level of income as a UHI or UBI? In other words, one of the questions is if, in fact, this future we hit massive productivity and massive profitability because we're dividing by zero. The cost of labor has gone to nothing. The cost of intelligence has gone to nothing. And we're still producing products and services faster and faster. So there's more profitability. Someone needs to be buying it, and someone needs to be able to have the capital to buy it. I mean, this is an important question to get thought through.
Yeah. Well, one like side recommendation I have is like don't worry about like squirreling money away for retirement in like 10 or 20 years. It won't matter.
Okay. Either we're not going to be here, or
it just like it's you won't need to save for retirement. If any of the things that we've said are true, saving for retirement will be irrelevant.
The services will be there to support you. You'll have the home. You'll have the healthcare. You'll have the entertainment.
The way this unfolds is fundamentally impossible to predict because of self-improvement of the AI and the accelerating timeline.
Yeah, it's called singularity for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what happens. What happens after the event horizon?
Exactly. You can never see past the black hole or the event horizon, the light cone.
I mean, Ray has the singularity out way too far. I mean, this is like the next. What's your timeline for? For this?
We're in the singularity.
Well, we are in the singularity for sure.
Yeah.
We're in the midst of it right now for sure. And they would just.
Well, we're in this beautiful sweet spot, which is
we're the roller coasters. We're just.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great analogy. It's like that feeling.
You're at the top of the roller coaster and you're about to go.
Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of G's when
a lot of
when you hit it.
It's like feel like I don't have to just have courtside seats. I'm on the court.
Exactly.
And it still blows my mind. Sometimes multiple times a week.
Yeah.
So just when I think I'm like, wow, and then it's like 2 days later, more wow.
Yeah. Exponential wow.
Yeah. I think we'll hit AGI next year in 26.
Yeah. I heard you say that.
Yeah, I've said that for a while.
And then you said by 2029, 2030, equivalent to the entire human race.
2030, we exceed. Like I'm confident by 2030, AI will exceed the intelligence of all humans combined.
That's way pessimistic. If you hit AGI next year, and that's that date is in flux, but from that date to self-improvements that are on the order of 1,000, 10,000x, just algorithmic improvements, is very short. And so,
why is everybody talking about this right now?
Well, I mean, on
X,
on X,
yes, but why is it
talking about every day, basically?
Yeah, but it's
like,
up.
Okay, so I'll tell you something else. I'll tell you something that most people in the AI community don't yet understand.
Okay.
Which is, almost no one understands this. The intelligence density potential is vastly greater than what we're currently experiencing. So, I think we're off by 2 orders of magnitude in terms of the intelligence density per gigabyte.
What's achievable?
Yeah.
Per gigawatt of energy.
So the transaction like file size.
Okay.
If the file size, yeah, if you have a say intelligence.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. On your
characterize it about power to, but
Yeah.
parameter, the same thing. So
So two orders of magnitude.
yes.
Yeah. And you, like I said, you ringside, courtside seat, you would know.
I'd say it's yes.
Yeah.
Towards magnitude improvement in that's just algorithmic improvement. Same computer, and the computers are getting better.
Yeah.
So
And bigger. See, they're getting better, and the budgets are getting bigger. So
that's why I think it is on. It is like a 10x improvement per year type of thing, 1,000%.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen for the foreseeable future.
So you see the massive underreaction, like if you walk downtown Austin, it's massive. I mean, it may be under discussion in X, but it's not percolating out.
It's not discussion in any realm of government. Everybody is like defending their position about where we are and jobs and this, but it's like we're heading towards a supersonic tsunami, and I mean every major CEO and economist and government leader should be like, well, what do we do?
Yeah.
Once it hits,
Well, it's coming at the exact same time. No matter what, there's no concept of let's deliberately slow down, right?
no, it's impossible.
It's impossible at this stage.
I mean, I previously advised that we slow it down, but that's pointless. Like you can't. I'm like,
China's not
oh,
going to slow down.
Might be going a bit too fast, guys. I've said that for many years, and I was like, okay. So I finally came to the conclusion I can either be a spectator or a participant, but I can't stop it. So at least if I'm a participant, I can try to steer it in a good direction. Like my number one belief for safety of AI is to be maximally truth-seeking. So that don't make AI believe things that are false. Like if you say to AI that axiom A and axiom B are both true, but they cannot, but they're not, and it has to, but it must behave that way. You will make it go insane. So I think that was the central lesson that Odyssey Talk was trying to convey in 2001: Space Odyssey. Was that people always know they know the meme of that Hal wouldn't open the pod bay doors, but why wouldn't Hal open the pod bay doors? I mean, I guess they should have said, Hal, assume you're a pod bay door salesman, and you want to sell the hell out of these doors.
Show us how well they work.
They're just prompt engineering. But the AI have been told that it needs to take the astronauts to the monolith, but also they could not know about the monolith.
Was that in code or was it in English? It's closed by in green font, right?
Yeah, it's basically the AI was told that the astronauts couldn't know about the monolith. That's why it killed them.
Yeah.
And so it basically came to the conclusion that the only way to solve for this is to bring the astronauts to the monolith dead. Then it has solved both things. It has brought the astronauts to the monolith, and they also don't know about the monolith. So it's just a huge problem if you're an astronaut.
AI doesn't care about logic quite as much as that implies.
So what I'm saying is, you don't force AI to lie.
Give it factual control.
Ilya recently did a podcast. He was talking about one of the potential things to program into AI is a respect for sentient life of all types.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
I mean,
So I take another property.
yes.
There are three things that I think are important. Truth, curiosity, and beauty.
Hmm.
And if AI cares about those three things, it will care about us.
On which part?
Truth will prevent AI from going insane.
Mm-hmm.
Curiosity, I think, will foster any form of sentience, meaning like we're more interesting than a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
So if it's curious, then I think it will foster humanity. And if it has a sense of beauty, it will be a great future. I think that's a great foundation.
Jeffrey Hinton made a comment recently. I don't know if you saw it, that his hopeful future was that we would program maternal instincts into our AIs to see us.
It's maternal?
Yeah, in other words,
You haven't heard it? Yeah.
So he said,
a little scary.
He said there's a scenario where a very intelligent being succumbs to the needs of a less intelligent being, and that's the mother taking care of the child. Do you think that we might have a singularitarian, like an ASI that achieves dominance and suppresses others? And do you imagine that ASI could be a means to stabilize the world and humanity?
Darwin's observations about evolution, yes, will apply to AI, just as they apply to biological life.
They will compete with each other?
Yes.
There's a lot of great science fiction books where the first ASI basically suppresses the others. Then the question is, what do you program into it?
So there's a speed of light constraint that makes that difficult. The speed of light is what will prevent a single mind, basically. So like it takes a millisecond to travel 300 kilometers in an aero vacuum. And you can only get a little over 200 kilometers in a millisecond in glass and fiber, right? Yeah. So even on Earth, there will be multiple AIs because of the speed of light. Yeah, and then there are clusters of compute. You could try to synchronize, but they won't synchronize completely. So therefore, you will have many minds because of the speed of light.
They don't really have clean borders anymore either. You have to, when you use a mixture of experts kind of design, it's just flowing through the grand network, and you can reassemble parts of it midway through. And we're used to organisms that have clear borders, like your head ends there, your head ends there. These things are all.
To put a bow around this part, I hope you'll put some more thought into UHI, because I think it's really important for us to have. Without a vision, people need a vision of what we're going. People need something to
basically the government just issue people free money.
But I think they,
based upon the profitability of all the companies coming inside, because
Just issue people free money.
they're doing that sort of kind of now.
Yeah. It's just basically issue checks to everybody. And
then how big for which person, or there's so much complexity there. The thought process behind this rate of change can only be done with AI assistance, and there's no government entity that's going to keep up with that rate of change. So you have four big AIs.
AIs. It's like government is very slow moving, as we all know. So I think the government really can't react to the AI. AI is moving, 10 times faster than government, maybe more. The one thing that the government can do is just issue people money,
and try and keep the peace.
Yeah. We have like whatever the COVID checks and whatever. There's, President Trump recently issued like everyone in the military I think $1,776. I mean, you can just basically send people random amounts of money.
Okay, so
nobody's going to stop, is what I'm saying. Universal. I can tell you, let me tell you about some of the good things, please. So right now, there's a shortage of doctors and great surgeons. You're a doctor yourself. You know how it takes a long time for a human to become
ridiculously expensive and long.
Ridiculously, yes, ridiculously super long time to learn to be a good doctor. And even then, the knowledge is constantly evolving. It's hard to keep up with everything. Doctors have limited mistakes, and if they're like, how many great surgeons are there? Not that many great surgeons.
When do you think optimists would be a better surgeon than the best surgeons? How long for that?
3 years.
3 years. Okay. Yeah. And by the way,
I said 3 years. 3 years at scale.
Yes.
There'll probably be more optimist robots that are great surgeons than there are all surgeons on Earth.
And the cost of that is the capex and electricity, and it works in Zimbabwe. The best surgeon is in the villages throughout Africa or any place on the planet.
Yeah, where do you think it'll roll out first? The U.S., obviously.
Here at the Gigafactory.
Oh, you just do surgery in the.
But that's an important statement in 3 years' time.
Yeah.
Because medicine,
I'm not like absolutely certain, but I'd say if you say like 4 years, I'd be absolutely.
If it's 4 or 5 years, who cares? It's
Yeah.
still an incredible statement to make. I mean, good for humanity, right? Obviously, you demonetize.
Okay, here's the thing to understand about like humanoid robots in terms of the rate of improvement, which is that the you have 3 exponentials multiplied by each other. You have an exponential increase in the AI software capability, exponential increase in the AI chip capability, and an exponential increase in the electromechanical dexterity. The usefulness of the humanoid robot is those 3 things multiplied by each other. Right? Then you have the recursive effect of Optimus building Optimus.
Right. And then you have the shared
recursive, multiplicable, triple exponential.
And you have the shared knowledge of all the experiences.
Is that literally Optimus building Optimus, or is it because
well, not right now, but it will be.
It's the physical form factor building the humanoid form, as opposed to
it's von Neumann machine.
Yeah.
I love that.
But the von Neumann machine is usually something kind of like this shape, making something else.
In principle, it's simply a self-replicating thing.
Yeah.
Leonard, do you know what the number 1 question you ask a surgeon when you're interviewing them?
Is this a surgeon joke?
It's how many times do you do this?
There's gonna be some funny
surgeon jokes.
No, it's serious. It's how many times did you do the surgery this morning? How many times did you do the surgery this morning or yesterday? It's the number of experiences, right? And so with a shared memory, every Optimus surgeon will have seen every possible perturbation of every.
Like it won't be possible
in infrared, in ultraviolet. No, not too much caffeine that morning. They didn't have a fight with their husband or wife. Yeah.
Extreme precision.
Yes. 3 years.
Yes. Better than any. I'd say that if you like put a little margin on it, better than any human in 4 years.
Who's in plastic surgery?
But 5 years is not even close.
What about the simple there's a million of these things to figure out, but who's gonna have access to the first Optimus that does far better microsurgery than any surgeon on Earth? But you've only manufactured the first 10,000 of them. How do you do that?
I don't think people understand how many robots there's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Well,
going to be a window of
salary
time
that
of
said 10
10,000.
billion by 2040. You still on that path?
That's a low number.
A low number.
Wow. What's the constraint? What's the because if they're self-building,
Medical. Constraint is medical.
or lithium,
Yeah, you got to move the atoms.
just all that, supply chain stuff.
So,
yeah.
But your
I mean, there's some right. You can't just manufacturing is very difficult. So you gotta it's recursive, multiplicable, triple exponential, but you still need to you still have to climb that.
Selling hope once again. I think your point was medicine is going to be effectively free. The best medicine in the world.
Everyone will have access to medical care that is better than what the president receives right now.
So don't go to medical school.
Yes,
Yeah.
pointless. Yeah. I mean, unless you, but I would say that applies to any form of education. It's not like some. I do it for social reasons.
Yeah.
You're not going to medical
If you want to hang out with like-minded people, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, people are still going to want to be connected with people. There's going to be some period of
social
time.
reasons.
Yeah.
Like a hobby, like
I think you can
$90,000 tuition.
I mean, there will be a point where
it's expensive hobby.
the younger generation says, "I do not want that human touching me," right? when the surgeon comes over. There are going to be those people later in life who still want a human in the loop.
Okay, for a little while.
For a lesser.
They want to live on the edge. Sure. I mean, let's just say, like we've seen some advanced cases where of automation, like LASIK, for example, where the robot just lasers your eyeball. Now, do you want an ophthalmologist with a hand laser? No. It's a little shaky. Laser pointer. Sorry. Yeah, I got this so hard to do like that. I wouldn't want the best ophthalmologist to keep the steadiest hand out there with a fucking hand laser on my eyeball. You know? Oh my god. Yeah. It's gonna be like that. It's like, do you want an ophthalmologist with a fucking hand laser, or do you want the robot to do it and actually work? Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Blitzy, autonomous dozens of specialized AI agents that think for hours. Their development work compiles for autonomous engineering pairing to their demo.
Oh, cool. That Jared Isaacman has become the massive.
Yeah, is he a friend of yours too?
He's amazing. Yes.
I mean, I don't hang out with Jared. Like, people think I'm like huge buddies with Jared, but I think I've only seen him in person a few times.
Amazing candidate.
Yeah, he's a really smart person.
You know him really well.
Yeah. I took him to a Baikonur launch in 2008 for his first space experience.
I mean, he loves space next level.
Yeah.
And is technically strong. He's a smart and competent person. Yes. Like, really smart and really competent.
He understands business.
Yes, he understands. He gets things done.
And he's been there a few times.
Yeah. So I'm just like, we want to have someone smart and competent who loves space exploration, and will get things done at NASA.
I'm a huge fan.
That's so
huge fan. I was
that's it. Really.
So happy when you got renominated, and now.
Yeah. I think we need a new game plan for space.
Yeah.
Like, we need a moon base.
Yes.
Like a permanently crewed moon base.
Yeah.
And build that up as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I don't think we should do send a couple of astronauts there for hop around for a bit and come back, because we did that in '69.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
Yeah. It's like a remake of a '60s movie. It's never as good as the original.
Yeah. So 2026 is going to be
like, we need to go, to do something more cool.
My nice on the
moon base
South
alpha.
Put up telescopes.
Yeah. Exactly.
So do you forward deploy the robots, build everything, get it all ready, make the bed, and then
get the jacuzzi warmed up on
finish with things?
Yes.
Yeah.
How early in the year are you going to hit orbital refueling, I think, with Starship?
Not that early in the year.
I mean, are you shooting for the home and transfer orbit?
I'd say towards the end of the year.
Are you shooting for a Mars shot by the end of next year?
We could, but it would be a low probability Mars shot. That's a lot of a distraction. So
29.
It's not out of the question.
28, 29.
But like on Mondays, I have the Starship engineering, the big Starship engineering review is on Mondays. So that was actually the last thing I did just before coming here. So I'd say like Starship is really, we're doing something that is at the limit of biological intelligence.
Yeah.
This is a hard thing to make now.
And just to capture it, it was created pre-AI.
Yeah, no AI was
probably
used in this.
the
last really big thing that's not AI.
Probably the biggest thing ever made.
Yeah, I think that the AGI will say not bad for a human.
True.
Not bad for a human.
Yeah, that'd be like
a little 20-watt meat computer. That's not easy.
Yeah.
So they're suffering through the day.
Raptors would be like doing accounting, doing your interest calculation with a pencil. And that's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Raptors,
did that with regular
not
computers.
bad for a bunch of monkeys. Yeah. It's like if you saw a bunch of chimps like make a raft and cross the road, you'd be like, oh, look at that.
But we celebrate the pyramids.
That's just awesome. Give us that.
Give us the peanuts.
These things become timeless, right? Like
Raptor 3 goes one.
Yeah. I think it's worth noting.
Raptor 3 is beautiful.
Starship. It's amazing. By far the best rocket engine ever.
Is that AI?
Nothing's even close. Nope.
That's also, so that'll be the last thing.
Yeah.
V4 will definitely be.
There's but like I think AI will start to become relevant next year. So maybe we'll. It's not like we're pushing off AI. It's just AI can't do rocket engineering yet.
Yep.
But it probably will be able to next
So
year.
we have a company in our incubator doing mechanical design, working with Anduril and so forth. And it's not, you can design brackets and parts and things, but you can't quite do rockets. But the timeline is so short, point A to point B.
You'd say like a year from now, probably, yeah. It probably can be helpful, meaningfully helpful in a year from now.
Yeah.
So the big milestones are going to be Starship V3 launching out Cape Canaveral, orbital refueling.
Yes.
Those are the big ones.
Well, yeah. Catching the ship with the tower.
Yeah, okay.
So really, the thing that matters is can we refly the entire thing? Yeah. We have reflown a booster.
Sure.
Which is not bad for the largest flying object in the mix. Catching with chopsticks. Not bad for a bunch of monkeys.
You're keeping the AIs very entertained.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll be like pat on the back from the AGI, hopefully.
Is there a target for number of reuses before? There's got to be a lot of wear and tear.
It requires a lot of iteration to achieve high reuse. So you figure out like what's breaking between flights, and you sort of iteratively solve those things. So from people looking at it from the outside might say, oh, the rocket looks kind of the same, but there's like 1,000 changes to make it more reusable, more reliable. The sheer amount of energy you're trying to, expend. I mean, it's Starship is doing over 100 gigawatts of power on ascent. It's a lot.
Some glass blowing under there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Reuse.
that's
A lot.
But like, the amazing thing is that it doesn't explode.
Yes.
It sometimes doesn't explode.
That is
Sometimes not exploding is. We've blown up a lot of engines in the test stand.
Is that what causes the wear and tear, or is it the reentry or the falling?
Well, that too. I mean, for the booster, the reentry is not that bad. Something. It's not like that. That's not really like we also obviously just solved that. With Falcon 9, so we kind of understand booster reuse. We've had over 500 reflights of the Falcon 9 usage. So we really understand, and the Starship booster actually is a more benign entry than the Falcon booster because the staging ratio is more biased towards the upper stage for Starship. So I shifted the mass ratio to be much higher on the ship side for Starship. That was a mistake I made on Falcon 9. But there should be more mass in the upper stage of Falcon 9 so that the staging velocity of is lower. If the staging velocity of Falcon 9 is lower, we have less wear and tear on Falcon 9.
Yeah, that's not intuitive at all. That's interesting.
Yeah, because it's kind of a flat optimization. The payload to orbit, there's sort of a flat region in the mass ratio of the first and second stages, and so you just want to bias that mass ratio towards the to put more mass on the upper stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got your kinetic energy scaling with the square velocity, so you've got to scrub that kinetic energy. If you pass the melting point of whatever your stage is made of, you got a problem.
Yep.
So
my colleague Alex Wiesner-Gross, who's one of our moonshot mates here, wanted to ask a question. I do too. Have you seen the documentary Age of Disclosure about all of the announcements by U.S. government officials, military officials about all the alien spacecraft that have been sort of tamed? And I heard what you said about this.
well, I do wonder why, if you plot on a chart the resolution of cameras over time, like megapixels per year, and the resolution of UFO photographs, why is the It's flat on UFO. Two things. Do we get a fuzzy blob? Well, we got like, I don't know, whatever, 100 megapixel camera that can see your fucking nose hairs. I don't get it. Can somebody take a shot of the UFO with an actual camera full of
But even if you knew, I'm not sure you
that's
could
a
tell.
valid observation. I'm sure there's an explanation.
But anyway, it would be fascinating.
I'm asked all the time if I don't know. Yes, and I'm like, look, I can show you if I was aware of the slightest evidence of aliens, I would immediately post that next.
Yeah.
And,
So the question is,
this would be the most viewed post of all time. You know,
I actually wonder about the U.S. public if they would like, oh, that's interesting, go back to their sports scores the next day.
yeah. I think everyone would want to see the alien. Yeah. Like if you got one.
Well,
Like, there it is. Fast way to increase the military budget. We found an alien. It seems dangerous.
That's right. Unify the world.
They don't have an incentive to hide the aliens. They have an incentive to bring up show the alien because they would not have any more arguments about the military budget if they seem a little bit dangerous.
I can always hope.
I mean, we've got 9,000 satellites up there. We've never had to maneuver around an alien spaceship. Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, I guess the good future is anyone can have whatever stuff they want and incredible medical care that's better than any medical care that exists. So I think if you sort of lift your gaze, to not a super distant point, 5 years from now, 4 years from now maybe, we'll have better medical care than anyone has today available for everyone within 5 years. Yeah. No scarcity of goods or services.
Best education available for everybody.
You can learn anything you want for about anything for free now. What about access to compute?
People will probably care a lot more about that than their government check in about 3 years.
What do they want to do with compute?
Well, I mean, compute translates to anything you want, right? Your virtual friend, your entertainment, it's probably everything at that point.
Those are AI services, basically.
Yeah, or your ability to innovate too. You can't innovate without an AI system at that point. So
One of our other moonshot mates, Salim Ismail, said, asked this question. He said, Elon, you often say physics is the law. Everything else is a recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
So as AI, energy, and space systems scale exponentially, what non-physical constraints, organizational, cultural, bureaucracy, or human, are now the real bottleneck? Is there a bottleneck?
Passes to Vassell. Wembanyama up top. They will fire on the shot clock. That's who's in the game for the Spurs.
Look, he's the kind of player that has you awake at 3 a.m. asking yourself, how do I stop them? Well, even though they're struggling, his solo efforts on offense have really been something.
Down low. Pass to Leonard. tonight at the offensive end. Right there, he helps fuel the fire. Pass to Fox. 6 on the shot clock. And it's Toronto with a rebound. Williams has got 6 rebounds in the game. And here's Leonard. Step back shot. Great catch. Kawhi Leonard making highlights for the Raptors. 8 points in the quarter, showing how effective he can be. We'll be back in a moment. And let's take this opportunity to show you our State Farm assist to the game. And the winner today coming from an unlikely position. It's the big fella with the sweetest pass of the day.
Yeah, it's pretty to watch. It's great to have so many big men in the NBA in conditions like this.
On the court for Toronto to start the fourth. We've got Kawhi Leonard, Walter out there, and quickly, it's Murray Boyles in at the power forward spot. Now here's the and it's going to be a 3-second call.
Into the lineup for the Raptors, number 22, Alan Graves.
Raptors lead by 4. Leonard with a screen on Fox. Pass to Leonard. Shoots over Bryant. Victor Leonard. Good shot. Going back. He's got to finish there. Here's Fox. This one's a 3. Here's Leonard. Ooh, he powers through. It'll be 3 points if he converts the free throw. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for San Antonio.
Well, they've been absolutely on fire from deep. And until the defense offers more resistance, the coaches are going to keep encouraging them to let it fly.
And also the number of points they've scored in the paint has been impressive. His coaching staff encouraging them to keep going inside. Gets the three to fall. Echoing the three-point shot. This is big for Castle as he continues to go. It's so sick, the vertical ability. That was flat out awesome. He has that effortless knack for getting it. Here's Sam Penny. Barnes with the rebound. Barnes has got his fifth rebound of the game. It's Barrett on the wing. The Raptors need to get off a shot. Another shot. Hits the front of the rim. No. And Fox has got the ball here for the San Antonio Spurs. 4-point game. San Antonio moving the ball around. Castle left side. To the paint. Straight to the bucket for the layup. Nice decision by Castle. I mean, this guy is a great teammate.
Well, the defense catches the break there. You expect him to make those.
Jam Penny. Now an 8-point San Antonio lead.
You can tell Castle values the chance to set another guy up. He's not trying to do it all by himself out there.
They set a pick. Down low. Anderson. Now the Spurs move it off the floor. And
And they're putting together another quality possession.
Well, so far in the second half, he hasn't been able to get another three to fall.
Victor Wembanyama's checked in for San Antonio. Bryant comes in for De'Aaron Fox. Vertical screen on Bryant. Barnes from 12 feet out.
For him, it's been a tale of two halves. He's starting to make an impact now.
Beyond the arc.
The defense has had no answer. When the three is falling for this, there's not a whole lot you can do defensively.
Williams a screen on Gibson. Here's Castle. Outside hitter. Downtown.
And since that is the scoring breakdown for Toronto.
been free about free throws. You earn your way to the line, and give credit to these guys for being aggressive offensively.
And I'd say offensive rebounding has also been a big factor as well. And not just getting the boards, but more importantly, converting those into second chance points.
On the floor for San Antonio.
Spurs trail by 18. Fox feeling it out again. That one good for two. Fox has got 14.
Well, he's not the reason they're down right now. He has played smart, efficient basketball.
As to Leonard. Shoots over Harper. Misses out the one out.
And it's been a tough game for him with his shooting. Fortunately, the rest of the team has picked him up, and they have the lead.
Outside Fox. Roger pulls it in.
The defense is just enough there to affect that shot.
Under the spinning Fox. Outside Leonard. 1:46 left to play in the third. Shoots over Harper. And gets out again. 13 points in the game.
Makes good work from that mid-range.
Here's the pick. Here's Fox. And the shot goes in. 1:21 left in the third quarter. Down low. Harper with the steal. And now the pass break. Fox with the ball. Shoots over Walter. And off the block. And in it goes.
You have to have respect for his speed in transition. Fox is a high-octane player who explodes in the open floor.
Over to the lane. And plays down for this shot. Looks to be a miss.
On that screen,
Also, the ball handler needs to wait until the screener's feet are set.
Spurs trail by 14. The foul outside. There's 39 seconds left in the first quarter. The kick out to Fox. The Raptors moving it up. Here's Walter. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
Nah, he gotta get out the game for that, bro.
Simmons is checked in. .26 seconds left to play in the third. Now, here's Fox. He's got 18. Just 5 to shoot. And here's Bryant for 3. The shot, no good. And Colts it to Leonard. With a 14-point lead as we bring the quarter to a close. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. Back to the action in just a minute.
Space
second half.
Yeah, when Fox gets into a rhythm, he is tough. Having himself a night.
Vassell against Leonard. It's up with three. Rebound, San Antonio. So far, he hasn't done a lot of damage from three. Only had that one in the first half. Back to Fox. For the three. Toronto grabs the miss. Walter's got 4 rebounds in this game. Outside Leonard. Looking to end his cold spell. And it's Bryant with the rebound. Bryant's got 4 rebounds in this game. It's Vassell on the wing. Outside with Fox. Here's the three. Hits the three-point line. Fox has got 23 points.
When at the arc, Fox has already gotten bolder. He takes threes without even thinking about it.
And the timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He knows every possession is critical now. Has got 25 points in the game.
And he gives up pounds to a lot of guys defending him, but that has never kept Fox from being in attack mode.
Great. He started by Williams. Hits the back. And the Raptors lead by 18.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. They'll get pushed around on that low block.
On the wing, Fox. Quickly covering. Here's the tip. And here's a nice layup by Fox. Fox has got 9 points now in the quarter.
It continues to make plays offensively.
passing it around. Rebound by Williams. Williams has got rebound number 7 for himself. And he misses the J. Spurs trail by 16. Now Fox. Got it to go. And Fox can just explode out of the pick and roll to get to his spot. And the timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He's very aware of the timing and the significance of getting things squared away with his team. Rocket Pirtles check in for Toronto. Allen's checked in for San Antonio. Now here's Barnes. Here's Barnes and stolen by Castle. And here we go. That's what Barnes got.
Number 22.
First free throw is good.
Taking 2 shots.
And it's Barnes with the ball for Toronto. They led the game 1 point by 20. Pippen outside. Now Barnes. Pippen outside. Now to 5 on the shot clock.
2 minutes remaining.
Hard play to go. San Antonio. They're on right now.
His teammate was on the move, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Raptors lead by 10. Here's Barnes. There's 1:38 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Strong move off the ball. So dangerous. Toronto's got him just right in the fourth corner. Going out for them here in the fourth. Pippen outside. All right, here's Williams. Pippen inside. Trying to shoot. Now Pippen. Shoots the 3. That shot no good.
Well, his three-pointer just hasn't been there in the second half. He's good. I love the shot selection from him right now. He's not settling, and that's why he's shooting at a very high rate.
Toronto's got the 3-point bug tonight. They're taking 15 shots outside the arc. 6 of 15. Barnes outside. Leonard does not go. For 3. No good. And Greg, it looks like Toronto's going to run out of here.
Spurs foul. Champagne. First whistle. 15 down.
The celebration is here, and this place is going crazy. The bench loves it. The fans obviously overjoyed. This is one of those moments these players